Hi, welcome to another episode of the Fast Thing X4 Plus R. It is episode
6-4.
6-4, and it is Friday, March
11th.
11th. There you go.
I did it.
Not this month, Jason.
No. Anyway, we're talking about Elden Ring before you got on, so we're going to keep talking about Elden Ring and how Elden Ring is too large.
Have you started playing it, Nolan?
Yeah, I've gotten a little bit into it, and it's
You have some
literally
crackling, Drew.
Oh, that's me. I'm walking to a car. That's probably my head.
That's alright.
No,
you're
that's
good.
okay. I just wanted to let you know. It's not terrible. I just, like, in case it was, like, you were sitting there or whatever. If you're moving,
No,
like, that's fine.
No, I think it's actually probably the headphone cord rubbing against the zipper on this jacket.
Hell yeah, that's fine. Anyway, Nolan was talking about Elden Ring.
Oh no, yeah, just how we were talking about how massively expansive it is, how it's almost too big.
Yeah, the game just keeps going. Like, you think you're doing something optional, and you're like, nah. Also, my official Elden Ring spoiler philosophy is all spoilers are welcome except actual videos of the endings until I've beaten it. Because the game is too large, and there's just too much stuff that, like, yeah, you're not going to see.
You're gonna forget all that stuff anyway.
It's too big. Yeah, you're going to forget. You're going to forget about, like, going into a mine on a cliffside and thinking it would be a tiny mine, and then it has like 3 layers up into a cliff, and you're walking up the cliff, and at the very end you stand up in front of like the temple of the gods with the big Elden tree or whatever, and you're like, oh, okay. It's like it would be the equivalent of going into like a tiny dungeon and then walking up, and you're just at, Hyrule Castle, the end of the game.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh no.
What are you playing on, Nolan?
PS4.
Does it run okay?
It actually runs pretty good.
Yeah, like it.
I've had no problems with it.
I think it runs as good as Dark Souls 3.
Yeah, your analogy is completely correct. It's literally just as good as Dark Souls 3.
Yeah. I've seen like the load times between deaths and stuff are a little longer than like PlayStation 5 and whatever, but it's not like it's not terrible. It's like normal. Like if you fast traveled in a video game or whatever, and it's like here's like 10-15 seconds between, you're like, yeah.
Well, that's it. Just pull your phone out, look at like Twitter or something for a second, and then you're right back in.
Take a breather.
Pull out your notebook and write down, the notes for what you're gonna need to do and need to remember.
Find the YouTube videos of, okay, starting spells, whatever, and then the guy goes, did you know, like, actually to the right of the meteor staff and like hidden in an alcove you can get to the dungeon, and that's where you get the actual meteor spell? And I'm like, no, I didn't know that. I'm gonna have to go back there and get it.
Okay, you're going to the you're like, well, hi, let me build a faith build. Let me see what's good. It's like, okay, well, what you want to do is you want to go all the way across the map to the other side. You got to kill this one knight who's really strong. Then you got to go talk to Turtle Pope.
Yeah, Turtle Pope's very important.
Turtle Pope will allow you to use lightning spells.
Yeah.
And give you pretty much, the best opening spell in the game.
I'm pretty sure Turtle Pope married like the king and queen of the world. I'm not entirely sure. I think he officiated the wedding.
I would like that.
If his dialogue was to be believed.
The setting is so... It's
weird.
It's a, well, like we and Kevin were saying, it's like a mash together of Dark Souls and Bloodborne and like Sekiro. Just take everything and just sort of push it in together, but it fits perfectly.
I killed an alien.
Yeah, I've killed an alien.
And not like I mean, yeah, like literally it crawled out of like a crater, and it was like Forgotten Star Beast, and it had like a crystalline body, like a centipede head, and then like stuff on the back of it. I'm like, okay. We had to go kill it. And it dropped space magic.
Gotta get the big boot for those guys.
Yeah, it was pretty difficult.
I like the idea. It's just like, who was it? George R. R. Martin's like, what if we combine Lord of the Rings and Cthulhu into one, and it works?
The game gives me a setting that I don't normally feel, but would it exist where, like, the average person in, like, Elden Ring or whatever is so outmanned and outgunned that it's just, like depressing. And that is, like, true in, like, every fantasy and, like, superhero setting or whatever, where it's like, nah, it's all this crazy stuff and people just... But, like, in this one, it's just sort of like... You're like a guy, you're a soldier in like a fort, and someone's like, have you heard about the alien space magic? And you're just like, we don't have toilet paper.
I haven't bathed in weeks.
Like, I'm still like eating gruel and our war band, and we look to the left, and then there's just like a dragon with a literal like spear made of lightning, and it's like coming at us, and we're just like, come on.
I want to know what kind of document George R. R. Martin actually gave From Software.
From what
I want to know, it's got to be just like lore and history of the world, not actually plot, right?
Okay, yeah. So from what he did is he did the story, the background, and the lore, and it just built up the framework for all that.
Yeah, and it does
go wild.
And I will say it feels more like understandable than you've seen in other FromSoft games.
Yeah.
There's a lot less of the description of guy reads fantasy novel, but he like doesn't quite understand all of it, and more of like, nah, the fantasy novel's there. So like, it's pretty explicit when you go to the castle and they're talking about how they're just putting arms on people. Because that's like the hip magic noble thing to do, is just put arms and crap on yourself. Like, you get it.
The more arms you have, the more nobility you have.
That is literally what's going on. Like, the noble trend is how grafted are you? Which is why Godric the Grafted was so strong. Because he was just covered in arms. And he has like a little head.
That tiny little baby head.
He has a tiny little baby head, and he's covered in like arms and body parts. And he's like, "Aren't I cool?" And everyone shit talks him. They're like, "No, you're not cool, Godric the Grafted." I don't know where like the deathbed companion is. I don't know where Gold Mask is.
What about the Dung Eater?
I'm pretty sure I know where the Dung Eater is. Dung Eater, I'm 90% sure is to the right of the starting area.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, okay. Yeah, he's probably over there.
I think he's in the Eclipse, hanging out. Where the Scarlet Rot. I may be wrong.
I like that. Just like every FromSoft game, they do the opening. They're like, "Oh, here's the 4 guys." But then they're like, also helping you are these other like 4 guys. They're in the mix that have nothing to do with the first 4 guys.
Yeah, you know how it is. There's just
so much. There's so much.
I feel bad for Vati Vidya, where he's like, well, this is gonna be my life for like 4 years.
No, listen, that's content, man. Like don't
feel bad for him. He likes this stuff.
Dog, he's cashing in.
Yeah, he's like, finally.
Dude, honestly, yeah, play.
Do you know
play that game?
Do you know? Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, do you know how many pairs of clothings now that he gets to read the descriptions off of?
Oh, there's a lot.
Dog, this is buying Vonti a new house. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, part of it also is, I think, due to the George Railroad Martin, or as someone on Twitter made their character. It was George PP farting.
The true tarnished.
Yeah, the true tarnished. I was like, oh, that's a good name.
He deserves the Elden Ring.
But it was
We
just,
gotta give it to him.
yeah, you don't get that one. But it's just, it's all consuming. It feels like I don't know. It's one of the games where like I don't know where you go from here.
Yeah, it's so much. I don't know the next game they're gonna make.
What would it like? I don't know.
Like you'd know what it like if they're like, oh, here's the next Dark Souls game. You can kind of guess what it's gonna be.
Oh yeah.
This feels like a finale.
Guys, it's Elden Ring 2.
I don't think
Yeah,
Elden Ring 2
Ring
can exist in the same world. I think it like I mean Elden Ring 2 quote unquote will be like the next whatever. But like is this what Bloodborne 2 is going to be? Is it going to be Elden Ring but like in like 3 cities?
You have an entire Victorian city.
Yeah, like are we going to get like well, you got like 4 Bloodborne 2 is called that because we've stapled together 2 worlds. I think the closest thing to it is like in Pokemon Gold and Silver. Whenever you got through Johto and you took a train and then you're just in Pokemon 1.
Yeah.
Like that's what this game feels like, but with 3 games. Where you're just
So I think it's also nice like they now have 4 franchises. Well, that King's Quest. So they can always do like more Sekiro style of, well, this is just actually kind of a linear game that tells a story. And we're gonna do like 5 of these for a decade as we steadily make Elden Ring 2.
I think they should go back to Dark Tower or whatever that game was.
I think they need to make Armored Core and Metal Wolf Chaos again.
Yeah, there we go. Metal Wolf 2. That's
Elden Ring 2, Metal Wolf
3.
Then you get the boss Metal Wolf.
Well, so Metal Wolf 2
No,
would
Metal
be
Wolf
across
Chaos.
literally all of America. You're piloting the robot Metal Wolf, and you literally have to save America.
The same technology as seen in Microsoft Flight Simulator is powering Elden Ring 2.
Yeah, just the world goes on forever. And it's all designed too. There's no AI, whatever. It's all there. The game is nuts. I like it.
It's fantastic.
I did.
All I can think about is going back to play it, and that's it.
I feel like it's just it's a hard feeling because I don't know. It's one of those games that makes me kind of sad while playing it because it's like, well, now what are you gonna do? Like, I haven't played Horizon Zero Dawn 2. I'm sure it's gonna be pretty good, but like, I've already eaten steak.
Yeah, I know. I heard Jeff Gershman talk about he'd played a few hours of Horizon and then shifted over into Elden Ring, and it took him a while for his brain to shift gears.
Yeah, and like, I like the first Horizon. I thought Horizon Zero Dawn 1 had a good story. I think that was one of...
What?
Yeah, the story of it was like really good.
Oh yeah, like the
No,
end part?
no. I was gonna say, didn't it come out next to like a Gangbuster too?
Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. Horizon, kind of a cursed
Horizon
franchise.
is always the bridesmaid, and it wouldn't have been that bad, but Elden Ring got delayed into it. Like, I think Horizon was like Elden Ring was supposed to be like 3 months ahead of Horizon, but it got delayed to like 1 week.
No,
after.
it was like December, and then they pushed it back to January, and then they pushed it back to February.
Yeah, like it like crept up on them, and it's like, oh no.
The Horizon team. Should we delay?
Like, either delay it more, like it would have been smarter for them just to say, we got to polish up this game for 3-4 months.
Yeah. Oh, we gotta make sure it runs well on the PS5.
Yeah,
so
you gotta optimize it, and then just
Yeah.
that would have been smarter.
Oh,
I had streaming
Horrible.
problems. The dark future of streaming arose its ugly head.
oh yeah, what hit you?
Well, because my dad and we watched Beverly Hills Cop 1, and we're like, man, you know what we should watch the last week? Beverly Hills Cop
Beverly
2.
Hills Cop 3.
And you know what? You know what happened? Where HBO apparently at the start of March, they just stopped being able to carry Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it just went away.
Yep.
And we couldn't watch it. And the only streaming whatever was like we could buy the Ultra HD version on,
Hate it.
but we didn't want to do it because it always kind of looks too stretched out on our TV.
Yeah.
So we don't buy the Ultra HD stuff of it. So it's kind of like, well, we gotta wait until someone gets the rights to Beverly Hills Cop 2 HD, not Ultra HD or standard 4x3. But
go to Mr. K's and just see if they have it for $3 or $5.
Oh, they'll definitely have it.
oh, I mean they'll have it, but then I'd have to like get my stupid DVD. No, I could play it in the PS4. I just don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. We just watch something else.
Just watch Comedy Central at like 9 a.m. to like
Yeah,
11 a.m. It'll show up at some point.
I started watching What We Do in the Shadows.
Season 1?
Yeah.
Okay.
How is it?
It's almost too cringy at parts,
Mm-hmm.
but I definitely feel like the show is getting ironed out as episodes progress.
Well, that's good to see.
It gets better in season 2. They kind of figure out their formula and keep going with it.
Yeah. And I don't dislike it. It's just definitely, there's just some parts where I'm just like, okay.
It's like the season 1 of a show where they kind of don't know what they're doing yet.
Yeah, it's like, okay, well, this movie already exists, and somehow we got cleared to make a TV show. What are we doing with the show?
Oh, did you watch the movie already?
No, it's not streaming anywhere.
See, I got lucky. The first time I watched it, it was streaming on like Amazon,
Yeah.
and it's so good. Honestly,
That's hard.
it's so good. It's so funny. Like, there's like 3 jokes in the opening, and it's like, okay, this movie's great. And they're just like fast paced.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, let me see if I can find it because it's so fucking good. And it's made by the Thor Ragnarok guy, Taika Waititi. That's his like one of his first like movies he did,
Mm-hmm.
and it's got that same sort of like comedic feeling in it. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Honestly, I've like watched up to the current season. It gets season 3's okay. I enjoy it in some parts, but season 2 I think is the best out of all of them. Are you watching it on like Hulu or?
Yes. Yeah, and I am not afraid to bounce off of TV shows and other things. I find that is the power move is whenever it starts to degrade even a little bit, and you're just, okay, I'm done with this.
Yeah.
I wish I could be that way. For what I've been watching is far darker and far more depressing. Have you seen the new season of South Park?
Oh yeah, I watched like the first 2 episodes. I'm like,
It's
okay.
painful.
I'm done with this.
I've
Not
not seen a new season of South Park in a decade.
I don't think they can make South Park anymore. Now, like, I knew they couldn't make a South Park anymore, but like, I'm not even there. Like, I'm watching this and I feel like it's not edgy, it's not funny. Like, I feel nothing. But
You
I gotta.
thought they could make a new South Park, but it turns out they can't.
Yeah, it's
make
one.
new South
Well,
Park.
it's kind of like I felt that they had they were trying to go for like season long episodes, and that was the problem with like season long plots, and then the jokes were getting stale. When it turns out the problem was like they had no jokes, and it turns out it's like, yeah, a lot of the Donald Trump jokes, while tired, hackneyed, and terrible, it's like without him in the news cycle, they literally have nothing.
Yeah.
There's nothing there. And you're just watching it, and it's just kind of like, it's nothing. The last episode was about like a return to the 80s, and it had a bunch of 80s references, and the whole point was supposed to be Mr. Mackey was afraid of getting old because he can't do it like he used to. And I don't think the episode was intending it, but I felt like that was the episode commenting to the creators of, you're old, you can't make this show anymore. Like, I don't think that was intentional, but the whole thing was like, you just can't do it. It's okay. It's okay to be old. It's okay to stop. You can't do it anymore. There's no shame in saying, I'm old, I can't do this.
The one, like, the main episode I watched was the Token episode, and I'm like, haha, that's funny. His name is Tolkien, and they thought his name was Token. That's a good one. That's it. That's the entire joke.
That's the joke. Mm-hmm. But the joke to me fell completely flat, because it's like, no, but you said this to, like, you're implying as if like I'm somehow like a ultra racist for noticing this, but like you've told me this for 10 years plus, 15.
When it first happened and you told us, oh, this kid's name is Token.
Yeah, don't you get it?
Like, yeah, we get it. We got it.
And then like at the end, you're like, nah, you're a racist though. Gotcha.
Yeah, they're like, how dare you think his name is actually Token,
idiot.
Not Tolkien? Like, what the fuck is wrong with this?
It's like, no, it doesn't work. But like you can see,
I think they did their COVID episode, and now they're done.
I think they don't have. Well, it's once we have transitioned into fully cartoon world, you can't have your biting satire anymore because we're just living in cartoon world
every day. Yeah.
Like you're gonna do like, wouldn't it be it'd be like you doing your zombie movie nowadays, and you have a guy intentionally getting bit by the zombies to gain immunity, and then saying, I ain't gonna swear no protection.
I'm not going to get that zombie vaccine.
Yeah, that's...
What if it could do something bad to me, like turn me into a zombie?
Now, that would be the plot of Dead Rising 4, and I think it would be incredible. Or Dead Rising 5 or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
I would love it.
I feel like, yeah, it's a good climate for like an Outbreak game.
Yeah, like that, to me, that's the kind of stupid that, like, yeah, I could see Dead Rising having a boss be like, I ain't taking no zombie vaccine. I got the natural immunity.
No, it's some crazy guys like this. They're not actually zombies. They're crisis actors.
Yeah,
they're a bunch of liberals, and I'm trying to use this to take off my freedom. I'm not going to let it happen.
They're trying to put the microchips in you. And it turns out the game... See, what you would have it is that the game is simultaneously, yes, it is a zombie vaccine, but they also are putting the microchips in you. You're like, why? I think that was part of Dead Rising 3, was the outbreak was triggered because of like the anti-zombie patch or whatever, and they just turned it off. Like a lady just turned it off in order to find the guy who's like truly immune or something.
That's yeah.
Oh, it's stupid, but that's like, but Dead Rising is supposed to be stupid and silly. Like you're running around in like a Mega Buster.
No, it needs to be the lady turned the patch off so she can now sell the more expensive zombie medicine. The
Zombrex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's now like 3 times the price. Come buy it. You don't have any other options now.
I like Dead Rising because it almost has like themes where like it's almost a commentary where like a guy has to go into like a chainsaw zombie arena to get enough money to buy his daughter's medicine. And it's kind of like you got something there, Dead Rising. You're not quite talented. You're like a speed crafter where you don't quite have the talent to actually tell your message, but I can see what you're thinking about, and I think it's intriguing. You didn't stick the landing.
Oh, Drew, since you've been watching Hulu, have you caught up to the final season or the latest season of Letterkenny?
Nope. See my earlier comment. Something got marginally worse, and I just bailed on it.
Oh, okay.
You could just watch if
honestly, good choice.
Those 3 or 4 episodes of that the previous season, the not current one, were just not good. And I'm especially after Kevin was the idea of they're just working on Shorzy.
Yeah.
That makes a lot more sense to me.
Oh, to me, it makes everything make sense.
But also, that's just how modern TV is written, is a rotating crew of writers, so you never know what the quality is going to be. Pour one out for Venture Brothers.
Yeah.
Only ever had 3 writers.
The true paw champs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Real kings.
Mm-hmm.
No, you're completely right to skip it. It's kind of, we talked over this a little bit. It's kind of nothing. There's 3 bits in it that are okay. Everything else is worthless.
If you really want to, just watch the episode where Wayne drives the Zamboni and Shorzy goes to leaves Letterkenny to go to. Basically, it's the episode of where Gomer Pyle joins the army.
Yeah.
It's that version of Letterkenny where you're and here's where the spinoff happens. Here's the setup.
It's also, the problem is it's also packed in the worst episode of that season.
I don't know. It's
one of the worst side stories where they're we're going to get famous on TikTok, and it just goes on 15 minutes of shooting them doing weird stuff to get TikTok famous.
Yeah.
And so annoying. I just skipped it all to get to the Shorzy parts.
Every character just devolved. I don't know.
It's also I've never really liked the tweaks. I've never liked the Stewart stories they've had.
I liked them, but I liked the hockey. I felt like the show, and it kind of feels when you're watching the hockey players became, which is why I think they're doing short. I think it started out, it was supposed to be Wayne and the Hicks were the best, and the other 2 were the B plots, and then the hockey player, I feel they liked them more. Not that Wayne and them stories are bad, because they're always good, but it's Jonesy and Riley are so amazing. And the hockey player and the hockey stuff that just happens, and I'm just I'm always happy. Their coach that just keeps kicking.
They're oh, well, we're doing good in hockey. Oh, yeah, well, we don't really know what to do now, so now we're not doing hockey. Well, I guess we'll coach. Oh, okay, we won't play hockey again. Oh no, we won the championship. Oh no, now we've done everything. What do we do now? Oh, let's just hang out again.
League.
Yeah, beer league.
Well, you see, Jonesy and Riley, they start off as antagonist, but they're stupid, and you just get they're too likable.
Yeah,
because they're just dumb. But they have good hearts, and you're man, Jonesy and Riley, you're good guys. You're just kind of stupid.
Yeah, there's big dummies.
I love them.
Big lovable idiots.
They are.
What else? Oh, well, then there's another. This is the only other good part of season 10 to me was the dicks. They've hit the pinnacle of jokes for the Dick family.
Yeah.
And they can never do another one again because it's they've done all of them. It's over.
Oh, yeah, well,
they can never do another one again.
I agree. I think that was the end of it.
It might have been a full 20 minutes of them making Noah Dick jokes.
Yeah. Well, it's the whole sausage party.
Yeah, it's the whole sausage party.
It just kept going, and I'm yep, this is the end.
Ladies in the kitchen.
Yeah. Bring out the dick suckers.
Yeah, the dick suckers.
Yeah, get the dick suckers out.
Fucking. Yeah, no, that season trash. I'm just gonna wait for the Shorzy show.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else? Anything else you guys have been up to?
I'm still playing Lost Ark.
good.
I think Lost Ark is kind of bad, but like in a weird way. Where like, I think it might have been helped that the start of that game and the story of that game is so trash because it lowers your expectations. So like, you're just doing something mildly okay. And you're like, yeah, that's pretty good. Like right now, I'm in like a kung fu fighting tournament, and that's the main quest, is to become the number one. And one of the side quests was that, which is a useful segue. Well, one of the little side quests, part of your main quest, is that one of the competitors was a nine-tailed fox demon that you had to go into a painting to disrupt their power before the tournament because they were cheating using demon magic or whatever to entrance their opponents. Which is related to that in Japan, that demon fox lady, she's out. Saw that, right?
What demon fox lady?
So, oh crap! I gotta find like the actual posting.
Hold on a second.
Yeah,
Are you talking about an actual thing that's really happening?
Yes. There was a shrine where a rock was in it.
Shit.
And it contained a demon fox lady, and she is out. Yeah, this is real.
I like this idea.
No, it happened. Here, I'm gonna post it.
Oh, shit.
There we go.
Wow. We've just entered the start of an anime.
Yeah, like Hakumen no Mono is released. Yeah. Basically, yeah. The transformed corpse of Tamari no Mei, a beautiful woman who had been part of the secret plot to hatch and to kill Emperor Toga. You know. There's and she was like in a rock, and that rock broke. So
all right.
So the demon fox lady, she out.
Now the only way to defeat her is to go to Egypt and open that crypt.
Well, I mean, if we go
to awaken the mummies alive, and then we got to go to China and awaken the Dragon Emperor to fight her.
Yeah, or we need to put her in a sword. or get Amaterasu to deal with it. Now remember, she's a Japanese nine-tailed fox, not a Korean nine-tailed fox. They're very different. Hakumen no Mono.
This may be like my favorite kind of news story I ever hear, which just with we've unearthed this ancient thing that said, "Oh, this is a curse. Don't open it." So we opened it, and the internet just sees it and goes, "Oh shit! Well, we're fucked."
I don't know.
It's over. You know what? Maybe this is a good thing.
No, listen.
Maybe the demons will take over and they'll stop Russia.
Yeah, we need the demon realm. We need to have the dark VHS tape. We need to get Kurobara to use his spirit sword to cut through the veil.
So stupid.
Nah, anime. See, that like part 1 was we're living in cartoon world. Part 2, nah, we're living in anime. Anime's real. Get ready. Get ready. We got to use our spirit detectives.
Yeah, no, but the problem is we're not going to be the spirit detectives.
Oh, of course not.
We're gonna get turned into zombies by those bugs.
No, we're the Elden Ring, where like we're looking to the mountain, and there's like a giant man who's riding a very small horse, and he flew up from space, and you're just like, well, I'm done.
I'm out. I get summoned in to help the hero character defeat, like, an immortal dragon with like 8 heads, and she's like, well, I mean, I'll do my best. Majin
Buu raises his hand on Kami's lookout and just exterminates all human life.
Yeah.
Yeah, what am I supposed to do against that?
What's he doing? I think he's counting.
I can't get winded on my walk. How am I supposed to dodge a key blast? So it's done.
Dog, I'm in that city that gets glassed by Nappa.
Yeah.
I'm sitting
just
in my
get
room.
eaten by Cell shows up and you're like, yeah, okay.
You just stream it and it's just done.
You're just one of the guys in Invincible that gets shot by the alien and explodes.
Oh god, you're in the train.
Yeah.
What else are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do about it?
Oh, fuck. Oh.
Like it's just that never-ending nightmare. It's why I
You're just
don't.
the Cameron Godzilla.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Matthew Broderick one.
Yep. Going. That was. I'm saying. Call back to my first moment of existential dread. It's just what if that's me? I can't beat Godzilla. I'm just dead. It's part of why I'd be really pissed off. Yeah, I'd both be really excited and really pissed off if like magic and superpowers were real. Because it'd be like, oh man, that's cool, and then oh shit.
I'm not the one that gets
I don't
it.
get that. Now I'm even more powerless. I think it's the idea that somehow I am made even more powerless. Like if like Superman.
Before there was like a little bit of a gap between you and like a normal person.
Yeah.
Like a really powerful person. Now it's like, gigantic.
It's like, yeah, now there's like an extra layer.
Yep. It's like now I'm not even in like the same tier. Like at least I used to be the top of the food chain.
Yeah, I'm not even there.
Now Homo superior showed up.
Not even top of the food chain. Now there's a chance for like a talking psychic dog, like Crypto the super dog, to fly by, and Crypto the super dog can think he's better than me, and he can because he's bulletproof and can fly.
And he is better than me.
He is better than me.
Listen, I thought it was. No, it's. Listen, I thought it was big shit, but then this dog's over here summoning sand, and I'm kind of helpless.
Yeah, Iggy has a stand.
Yeah.
How am I supposed to deal with that?
This bird just murdered me with eyes.
Yeah. What are you supposed to do?
Like, I think that would be like, I think there'd be a rash wave of complete nihilism if like superhero. I could just be like, what am I supposed to do? Like what? So Iron Man's gonna fight a purple man on Saturn, and then because of that, I'm gonna get erased. My friend is gonna get erased from reality. What was I supposed to do?
And you expect me to still go into work?
Yeah,
I gotta keep the economy going.
Why would I? Why would I even care? Why not Iron Man? You just make a robot that does my job. Just do it. Yeah, it might go evil, but then, you know what? I'll go evil.
No, it's the Avengers from the first one where they open the hole in New York and everyone's trying to evacuate, but your supervisor's like, guys, we got to get those GPS reports in. You got to get back to work.
The phone line's got to stay open, gang.
Someone's got to manage that phone. We got sales to do.
That Amazon factory's got to keep going. Because maybe tomorrow the world's not destroyed.
I saw that. Yeah. That was like...
Those aliens, they're going to want to buy stuff too. Whole new user base. Gotta get those installs. Come on, everybody.
I saw, it was just some shit post or whatever, but it was like why people live in Gotham City. And the reason was at least Batman's supervillains are somewhat human compared to like if you're living in like if you're living where like Superman's showing up, then like apocalypse is coming down and you're like definitely gonna die. But like I don't know, you can like hide from like a guy in a clown mask. It's possible.
Like at least 80% of them have a gun. And that's the most threatening thing.
Still bad. Like, there's still bad mans in the mob, but, like, I feel like my chances of, like, avoiding the Joker gang are far more than, like, the parademons who are flying in, or, like, Reverse Flash, or, like, some Green Lantern guy. Like, what am I gonna do? And I'm like, you know what, I agree.
No, it's Gotham and it's was it Keystone City where the Flash is from?
Yeah.
Oh, it's just a guy with just a guy with an ice gun robbing stuff. I don't really have to worry about like getting brutally murdered.
Sorry, Nolan. No, you're thinking of Mr. Freeze. Captain Cold has a cold gun that just shoots cold.
Yeah,
it's very different.
But yeah, like Captain Cold, Kite Man. They don't want anything to do with people in the city besides like robbing stuff. And I'm like, yeah, here's my money. I'm good.
Yep.
I don't have to worry about like a disgusting monster trying to like devour me.
Yeah. You don't have to worry about some crazed lunatic plan to put laughing gas in the Gotham water supply.
Oh man, that's the kind of crap that would just. I'd be getting a drink and I'm dead.
So you're in your dingy Gotham apartment, and then like you look at the news and it's like, well, looks like we have Joker gas in the water again, and you just walk over and you open up your bottle of water like.
And Joker's got to the bottling plant too. He's like injected his gas in there. Like I feel like at that point, no, I'm just done.
It's like, well, the guys, the commissioner's like, all right, we've gotten the Joker gas out of the water. Unfortunately, Scarecrow has now put fear serum into the water, so we're still going to have to be careful with this.
If you
guys.
visited,
Seems like there are remnants of the laughing gas too. That now they have crossbred.
if you've gone outside to Gotham Park within the days of March 7th through the 11th, you may have come in contact with poison ivy spores. Please go to your local hospital and get a checkup. Now you will have to pay for it if you're on plan say Zeta through whatever. However, you're being under the influence of poison ivy spores does not mean you are blameless, because we have offered testing kits for $37 that you have to buy.
Look here, I don't believe in none of that, because I'm pretty sure
Tipping me.
they're going to put a chip in me when I go to Gotham Central. All this Joker talking poison ivy, that's a false op. I know it. I've watched my TV. I know exactly what's going on.
And then some guy just goes, but why won't we just let poison ivy step on us? Like, as you can see, he's clearly entranced. He's like,
Guys, listen, I gotta say, all right, maybe poison ivy's right, okay? I just kind of wanted to step on me, though.
He's just some man just burying himself, where his head is just above the grass, and he goes, "I'm ready, my queen."
I'm ready, queen.
Just licking his lips. La, 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 la. It's like, oh man.
You just see it's only Bane in the newspaper this morning. You're like, oh, thank God, a tame week.
Oh.
It's just a penguin.
He just punched some guys and like stole a bank and robbed a bank.
Oh man.
Oh, thank God. It's like, please, Penguin, please kill these guys. I will pay whatever money to the mob to not have to deal with any of this crap.
Yeah, it's just like I was just thinking about. I think about existential dread a lot.
With this, the way that Gotham works, if you're sitting in like some sort of research facility and like Mr. Freeze breaks in, how are you not just giving him whatever you have? Because he's not going to like viciously murder a bunch of people.
Yep.
He's just robbing your company. You're like, yeah, go ahead, take it. It's cool, man. Don't worry about it.
Yep, I'm not a hero.
So
honestly, at worst, you'll freeze me, but I'll get unfrozen. But please don't do that.
Please.
I don't want to suffer the frostbite that comes with it.
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with it. I'm just done. So, I've been watching too long people talking about crap, and I watched like an hour-long video about Harry Potter and why it's bad.
Oh yeah, that's that new
Like Sean made a video about it or whatever, and I watched it. It was pretty good. The video was good, and it just left me with the question: if we discover
about Harry Potter and why it's bad.
Yeah, well, not why it's bad, but just like the inherent flaws of Harry Potter and like problems and like thematic and looking for like examples in the text that like J.K. Rowling's positions are not shocking, that sort of deal.
Oh yeah. You mean like how the goblins of Gringotts are just horrible racist caricatures of the Jews?
Yeah. And more, it was more like it was the neoliberal idea of change is always bad.
wait, hold on, I'm sorry. Whoa, Drew, what? Huh? You mean Well, hold on a second. Seriously? I want to like see the guy that's actually like, serious about that.
Oh
like,
man, that would
know.
yeah.
Like they didn't know.
Yeah.
You mean the wizard, the enslaved people that were loved being slaves? That could have real life connotations?
No.
No.
And it's like my problem with the house elves is how the whole thing, like, everyone treats Hermione as a joke
As an idiot.
about what she's trying to do. Like, if you're gonna have the house elves like that, don't bring that commentary into it.
That was one of the guy's big points, was that you could see a lot of like the current like is the neoliberal read on everything, and how stuff where it's like, one, there's good team and bad team, and the same actions are fine as long as you're on good team. Like you can be mean and do
Give me an example.
like you what?
Give me an example from the book.
Okay, this is the example the guy uses, where so Vernon Dursley hates change, is mean, short-tempered, and angry, right?
And impotent.
Well, and kind of like vaguely impotent and angry. And then you meet Hagrid, who when he shows up is short-tempered, angry, and attacks this random kid. Now we as the audience understand that Dudley Dursley is a shit. But this random giant man who's never met him before basically sees this child and fucks him over for like eating a cake.
Yep.
But it's okay because he's a good guy. Don't you see? And that happens a lot. Where like people are mean, but it's okay if they're good. Or if the audience, or if they says they're good. Like, it's okay for, like, the wizarding world to have, like, to have a willful slave class. But it's bad when Malfoy has one.
Yeah.
When Malfoy's dad has a slave elf, it's a bad thing. But when Hogwarts has them, it's okay.
No. You don't understand.
They love it.
The Hogwarts one, they love it.
They love it.
Enjoy doing it, okay?
They love it. They can't get enough.
No.
They treat their slaves well, Kevin.
Yes. All right. Listen, we give them a bed. All right. We give them meals. All right. What else could they need?
And it's not like a dark joke either. Now, if you play this as like a dark joke, then I laugh and say brilliant. But it's not.
But it's all straight faced.
Oh, it's like straight faced. But yeah. And it's the idea of like societal change is either you keep the status quo or it's made by like the overt fascist. You can't make society better. That's not an option. Like, get that out of here. The philosophy is we keep everything rolling along, or the fascists take over.
It gets worse.
It either gets worse or we don't improve society. That's not bad.
Gee, there's nothing more of a perfect example than like the last 2 years.
Hell, well, that's why.
Yeah, exactly.
Got lucky it came out at the. He also makes the point where a little aside at the end that also had my intentions, where in the ineptitude to try to make Grindelwald in that movie say, "Why are you against the Muggles?" And then he shows like the atom bomb and the Holocaust. He goes, "This is what I see the Muggles doing," and you're like, he kind of has a point. And we, as the audience, know that happens. So you know.
Well, hold on a second. Let's roll this back a second. If the atom bomb happened, that means World War II happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which means the other bad thing happened.
Well, yeah, no. They explicitly show like the Holocaust, like people getting in the train going to the Holocaust in the movie.
Okay.
So he's your bad man is basically saying, I hate the humans because they're going to commit a genocide. And you're going, you right, and you don't have the chops to write yourself out of that one with that nuance.
So what were you wizards doing at the time? Well, you know, just hanging.
See, that's okay.
out.
And this dovetails into my last part of the podcast, which is if we as humanity discovered the wizarding world, do we have to immediately go to war with them? Is it justified for us to like what?
We don't have to. We get to.
Because in my opinion, like I think you gotta do it. Like if that exists and they're like, no, you gotta go. Or maybe cooler heads than mine. But to me, it's like I don't like the idea.
Well, let's be honest. What's going to happen is our proud leaders will be like, well, we got to take care of this threat to national security, so go ahead and draft them in, and it's going to be a battlefield of like guns and like magic flying.
Okay, that's cool. See, that's really cool. And I think that's really cool.
We figured out there's oil in Hogwarts. We gotta
get the Hogwarts oil.
No, let's be extra real here. All the wizards that we see are white people, so no, it's fine, Kevin. We don't need to go. We don't
You're
have to
right.
We'll shake hands like, oh, good. Now we don't have to fight anymore.
It's the Ukrainian refugees welcomed with open arms. Syrian refugees. Well, I just don't know. There's just not room. Nope.
You need all your jewels. Wasn't that one of the things they were doing where they're like, give us your jewels to come in?
Literally, yeah.
Probably.
I think it was like one of them. It was like you had to surrender jewelry or something to come in or something. I was like, what the hell?
There's literally a story right now that's like a bunch of like people that live, a bunch of like African Americans.
There's
like people that live in Ukraine, and they're like, we can't get out. They won't let us.
Yeah.
We keep having to go through like multiple other processes that all the other Ukrainians don't have to do.
Yep.
No, you know what? I think it's a problem of character. That's what it is.
Yeah,
that's the only
problem.
problem. It is. Yeah. I think
Listen,
they
if they could just take and pass their flee from the country tests like the other citizens have done, it wouldn't be a problem.
You see, Nolan, they just like the war zone. It makes them happy to deprive them of living in the war zone.
They enjoy it there.
It's a cruelty. It's far cooler to let them leave the war zone where they are at home. On that note, later days.
Later days. Bye.